Oh man, it's a lot of work. Oh, all right. I sorry for all this. Here's the new one. If anyone was watching live or no, that's not right. I'm just sending out the stream to some people who wanted to see it. And we'll see if this is all going to work. I'm sending it out to the person whose script I am reading, at least first. Here's the correct one. I'm sure no one can be possibly watching this because I haven't put the stream back out on the screenwriting page. All right. One more try. I had to end the previous stream. Okay, let me just... This is the actual live stream, I hope. Okay. All right, so I sent this out to 2 emails and to the Zoetrope page or group and also to the screenwriting page. So now let's actually get started. I believe it looks like audio is working. I'm sure, I'm not going to say I'm sure no one's watching, but I highly doubt anyone's watching live. And I do not have, I don't know if I, sorry about this. I don't know if I have the chat enabled or not. If you are chatting by chance, live chat. I guess I could see if anyone's chatting. Participants. There's no one participating. What a surprise. If anyone is chatting, maybe I'll be able to see it. I doubt that anyone is. And I don't know how often I'm going to look at it because... it's just too much to keep track of. Last time someone was sending me Facebook messages, and I might see those, but who knows. So anyways, about to get started. The screenplay tonight, the first one anyways, is A Game of Life by RICARDO POSADA. I hope I pronounced that right. Very quickly, because I'm sure you don't know who I am, most likely. I've been... And not that any of this matters or makes me an expert or a professional or qualified to review your script or any of these scripts, but I'm just doing it for fun, excuse me, as an experiment. And just to see, the first one I did, the woman really appreciated it, so we'll see. I've been writing screenplays for way many years. I'm not even going to say I've probably written... I don't know, 30 spec scripts. None of them have sold. I did write, produce, and direct 3 of my own very low budget features because I figured if I'm going to do it, if I'm ever going to see them on a movie screen, I'm going to have to do it myself. So that's what I did. Are they the best films ever? No. Did I learn a lot? Yes. Was it an amazing experience? Yes. I highly recommend every writer, every screenwriter, write a movie that you can make, whether it's 5 minutes long or 3 hours long. Hopefully it won't be that long. I've made mine on the super low budgets. We rented theaters, we showed them, we made what little money we spent back. And it's just, you just learn so much. And you really appreciate when people are going to put even $1 million or 10 million, let alone 100 million, how hard they have to be on your script and on all the scripts because it's a business. It's nothing more, nothing less than that. All right. That's the lecture for tonight. So I am very much into structure, very much into formatting. I'm probably a super nitpicker on formatting. The reason why is I've probably read I don't know, 100, 150 scripts and reviewed them on various sites and for people. So between that and what I've gotten feedback on the many scripts that I've put out there, and I've got some that just tear you a new one, and it's not fun, but 98% of the criticism upon reflection was valid. And so what I say during these live streams is not because I am the professional. It's a combination of what I've learned by doing, what I've learned from others, and just my own, obviously, personal opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. In the grand scheme of things, I'm just one person who's making comments, and if you disagree, that's fine. If you want to put something in the chat, that's fine, or in the comments, that's fine. Frankly, I don't know if I'm going to read, because I don't like to be criticized like all writers, but oh well. So I'm going to read this, and as I've told all the writers, I'm going to read as much as I think it has promise. The last script I read the whole thing. I ultimately didn't think it was right for this one producer, but it was, it was a fine script. So if I read 2 or 3 or 8 or 10 pages of this and I just don't feel like it's going right or whatever, I reserve the right to stop reading it, and the author reserves the right to never speak with me again or to tell me I'm a complete lunatic. All right, so I do not know if anyone's watching, but you can always watch it later. The live part is just kind of a gimmick. All right, so let's get going. Game of Life, Ricardo Posada. Oh, I hate this. So very first thing, fade in. And this might just be your PDF maker, but there should be a colon here. I'm going to add some notes for the writer here. And then it looks like it's in a different font. It looks like this is bigger and then this is smaller. And there's no hard and fast 100% rules, but I'm going by what I think and what I know, believed to be generally accepted guidelines. Sort of, you can't go wrong if you write it like this. And again, a screenplay is a weird thing because it's only going to be read by about 10 people. And it's just the blueprints from a house. And once you get going on a movie, you'd be surprised how the script is just disregarded, even not disregarded, but plays such a small part in the movie. Anyways, should be a space here. You should double space. The sun shines over a blue sea. Walkway, I don't think is hyphenated. Okay, this is a good start. I would maybe break that into 2 paragraphs. And this is a very tiny thing, but orphan words on their own line they're not a no-no, but it looks so much better if you don't do that, as crazy as that sounds. All right, so now your spacing is right here, but you're still not double spacing. And it doesn't look like you have a space right here after the parentheses. I'm going to try not to nitpick this one as much, but the reason I do is because as someone who's read scripts and doctored a few scripts and script analysis and stuff, readers and coverage people are just looking for reasons not to read it, frankly. You've probably heard it, you've probably read it, and from what I've experienced, it's extremely true. So anything you can do not to slow the reader down by formatting that isn't, quote, industry standard, or by an extreme use of caps or something like that, it just, anything you can do not to do that, that's what you should do or not do. Obviously, I'm not going to read this whole thing out loud because my voice would not last. So you can sort of hear me as I read probably. To other times. Other times, as in he's old. That's kind of a novelish sort of thing to say, as in writing a novel. He belongs to other times. Another, not really pet peeve, but just a best practices is don't write in the passive voice. Always write active. So his intense, deep blue eyes that contrast strongly with his dark skin fix on a group of teenagers. Present tense, not instead of are fixed. Here we go. The boys and girls. There should be no comma here. I'm not sure why there's a comma there. This is another. They play soccer. They play soccer on the beach. So they're playing soccer on the beach, and then in the next scene, the next shot, I guess you're calling shots here to some extent. Did we see the ball go from here to here, or is there, I don't know, break in time? Following another game in another time. So he's like staring off into space. It's a little confusing to me. Approaching to retrieve the ball, even though it's obvious. All right. This does not need to be capitalized. Yelling. Play a game with us. So the boy knows Azul. But the boy, why? Whoop. The boy's name is, sorry, I can't pronounce that, or I don't want to butcher it, but that's the boy, right? So his name should be right here. You don't have to use the word then. He does a special celebration dance. Lifts his legs at great speed. Did this show he laughs? So is he bouncing the ball off of his thighs? I'm not sure what he's doing here. He lifts the legs if he's marching in a military parade at great speed. That's what it sounds like. Whoa. His eyes shine and smile with youth. That's a pretty big ask there of an actor, but maybe so. He looks around and then again. He looks around and then again at the plane on the beach. His arm with a hand with the other against his feet. To the case. His right leg. When he gets to the end of the walkway before crossing the street, he holds onto something lamppost to regain his breath. Maybe he pauses. He wouldn't hold it to regain his breath. That wouldn't be the reason he holds it. He hesitates and turns on his focus again on the players. Beach scene. There's no, I wouldn't say scene. Beach. The playing youngsters, you don't need scene of walkway. In general, and again, this isn't me, well, it's partially me, but it's what I've been told and scolded at, is not to direct the action with the camera unless it's super, super critical. The camera comes very close. That isn't 100% no, but I would maybe say close on his name or something, close on Azul, but not right in the camera. So it's obviously setting up a flashback, which is fine, but I would just say close on Azul right here. Now, how's the audience going to know this? How will the audience know how far back in time this takes place? And we saw, I would go without including the audience in on that. It's just the same beach, but with colors faded. And like this, now there is. All you have to say is no walkway borders the beach. No tourist restaurants, hotels, or any activity, period. So you can get rid of quite a bit of this. I don't run from here to there. I guess run back and forth. Oh, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 people in our cast right now. The young Azul and his friends. So again, they're just unpacify or activate that sentence. Azul. Do we know this is Azul? Obviously, we're not going to know because he's so much younger. I assume we're going to find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 7. So it's 3 on 4. No shirt. This under dialogue, you don't. I mean, you could say Jose, who has no shirt, speaks first, or you could just say that he's on Azul's team, and then we know he has no shirt, but this is not the place to put that. Enemy goal, the opponent's goal. He is determined to make a goal. I think that's probably taken for granted. Here's a big thing that I have that I used to do a lot and I do a lot less now. Does all of this matter that he has a dark black hair and he's good looking? I guess it probably does. Big muscular body. Oop, a little spacing thing there. Close to him. No comma. He isn't very tall, so maybe he's shorter than Jose. Very good looking. We're asking for the ball. So he waves his arms and see again, no shirt. We don't need that. This should be a period. Oops. Boy, Jose. Well, we know it's Jose because Jose's been introduced up here. He continues running, but he's also dribbling the ball, I assume. Another player, Thomas. See, that's a good way to do it. Put it in parentheses right there. Person. Yeah, that if an actor can convey that, that's fine, but that might be a big ask. And unlike a novel, you just can't set up your characters in the description. Obviously, visually you can, but emotionally and all of that, it's kind of a no-no. So with great strength, I'm not sure what that means. Does he finesse it? Does he kick it away from him? Great strength makes it sound like he shoves him down or is manhandling him. Okay, this is a more accurate description, I would assume, of how the ball gets taken away. He runs with it. I guess that's how you could say it. Dribbles it. He's standing. Why would he pass it to him if he's just standing there? I'm trying to visualize this and having a kind of a hard time. So I guess this is hard to describe, but he receives the ball and reluctantly passes it back. There's no indication of why. It's just sort of wordy, it feels like to me. A small thing, page numbers go in the top right with a period after them, and this looks like it's a different font almost too. He's the real man. Always wins. Why is he defeated? Have they scored? Don't know. Well, if we knew the others were 13 and he's 15, then we don't need this 2 years older. I wouldn't, I don't know about saying yet much thinner. Blonde hair and white skin. Does this mean Caucasian or, I'm not sure. You have white skinned, I assume Caucasian runs to the beach. From the street, he stops in the middle of the field. He sees Azul just got the ball. Oh, he sees that. Oh, he sees a bull that just got the ball. This is a little bit confusing. Your, this should be you are. Or your, like this. Whoops, where's my... You're in trouble. Mama knows you didn't go to school. He hesitates to recover his breath. He pauses, maybe, hesitates. Stops in his tracks. Stops in his tracks. Turns to look. The other team takes a ball. Yeah, this, it just doesn't feel very smooth. The English just seems a little bit rough through here. It's not bad, and it, again, it has nothing to do with the story. It just makes it hard to read, harder to read. No capital. How does she know I wasn't at school? Did you tell her I didn't go? In an intimidating manner. I swear I didn't. I think it was. Told her he'd seen you here, but I would just delete this line. All he has to do is hear this, and then, in fact, Azul would probably know that his mom is upset, so maybe neither of these lines of dialogue are super necessary. You could just say he turns to the other players. This could be shortened. I've got to go. Off. This should be, it runs off. They cross a few houses. Wait a minute. So the scene is taking place at the beach. Okay. And so now this needs to be a new scene or a montage series of shots. Because obviously this is a new location starting right here. Seem to be natives. Does it matter if they are aren't or aren't? Seem to be. Okay, I'm trying to see if anyone is watching. It doesn't appear that way. It's okay. Okay. one floor. This should be hyphenated. Again, these are things that don't have anything to do with the story. They just slow the read down, and they give a reader somewhere one less reason to keep reading. So it's exterior, interior, and that the camera is following him in, it appears. A television set in the middle of the room, and in front of it a rocking chair. Obviously a poor family lives here. This is okay, a little bit on the novel side, saying obviously a poor family lives here. It's kind of editorializing, which strictly speaking is not something in a screenplay. So you've got Mrs. Rosa Norton's house, and then you've got Mrs. Norton's kitchen. We know it's the same thing, but should be consistent. A big woman stands with her back. Does this big woman play a part? She should be in caps with a name or something. So they've already run into the kitchen. And then he goes in like a hurricane. So it seems like he goes in here, but now he enters again. Because they let us go early because there was no water in the bathroom. Aha! So this lady is probably this lady. Very colorful flower dress turns around. She talks with a heavy Latin accent. Latin. So here's something I read a script the other night, and we know she talks with an accent, so the question is, do you really give her this affected speech here, or do you write the, quote, normal English words and then let the actress and the director sort of work that out in terms of how they pronounce their words? Because you sort of get the idea, but at the same time, if it makes it harder to read, then it becomes an issue. All right, here's kind of an example of why would she say that? Because he already knows if it's the second time, and she already knows it. And I told you a million times, this is like information for the audience. It's not information for the character. Should be tired. Comma here, probably a comma there. He points to Orlando. Wait a minute. Orlando's in the kitchen. I guess they both run in, but we don't mention him. So is he unseen until we get down to here? Missing a period. The kitchen door without moving. The boy, I assume this is Orlando, stands at the... You could just say Mrs. Norton looks at Orlando, comma, waiting, or something like that. You can get rid of this and this. I don't know why you don't call him Orlando, but I would. Comma, right here, unable to lie to his mother. This could certainly be condensed into probably one line, because you're kind of saying the same thing, or I think it's kind of obvious probably from his hesitation. Who is Mrs. Norton delivering this line to? We assume it's Azul, but there's no indication. You're not going to get away with the little tricks. You have to learn to be responsible. You can't go outside for the rest of the week. All right, so now we know, but we should know up here. It's the truth, Mom. He's always this breaking dialogue over page. It could just be a weird formatting thing, but should either end it here and continue it here or have a more right under here. I don't know why this is in double quotes. Yeah, this is kind of... I don't know why she would tell him that. He probably knows. Oops, this should be over here. Now go to your room and turns her back to the boy. This could probably be cut down to maybe a sentence of just Azul dejectedly leaves the room. Should be a whatchamacallit there. What are those called? Single quote. Oh, someone's reacting to my post, but I don't know if anyone's watching. I guess I could probably check my something. I don't know, unless these people are going to appear in the movie, I don't know that I would capitalize them. You could, right here again, you've got the passive voice. Azul puts his leg out a small window. Wait a minute. Did he change his clothes? I guess he did. And will the audience know this? Will they know it's Colombia's national team uniform? If not, I mean, even so, I don't think I would include that because it's parenthetical information. Regular gray and blue shorts and t-shirt stands by watching. So this must be a lot later on. I'm assuming maybe it doesn't take place right after here. I can't quite tell. Come on, comma, don't be such chicken shit. She won't notice anything. I'm not going. Oh, something happened there. But if they catch us, I will be. I'm not grounded yet. I would work on this line. Okay, don't go there. This whole exchange feels like it could be said in about 2 lines or 3 lines of dialogue because it's sort of not moving ahead. It's a little bit repetitious. Yeah, it feels like this whole thing could be way, way shorter. His whole shorten. Whoops. Consider shortening. Stays looking from the windows. Cars on the streets. So there are no cars on the streets. In other words, the streets are empty in a passive way, but active could be something like that. People carrying. So it's full of people. Oh, but the people aren't carrying the bundles. The bus is. Will we know that the goats roaming around looking for something green to eat? I think this description could be cut down to probably 3 lines. Same, meaning day. I would just say day. Exterior, small creek day. The boy. What boy is this? Is this Azul? Assume so. Water jumping on top of stones placed one after another. Unstable. He gets the other side. The path wouldn't be so unstable. It could be uneven. This, I don't know, that reads a little funny for me. So Azul walks fast across a crowded, unimportant downtown. He hides trying not to be recognized by anyone. Sure, no curious eyes are watching. Yeah, this is just feels like the whole thing is sort of overwritten. It could be most of these lines that are 3 or 4, could be 1 or 2. He crawls through a hole in the fence. He was in the middle of his small group of close friends. So these are pretty much the soccer players. They are, They, apostrophe re. Spectators in front of them are bothered by their fooling around. Try to defeat their always. Is the audience going to know this? That they're trying to defeat their always better enemy? You could just say 2 teams and give their colors or the names of the teams. Whoa, wait a minute. So they're yelling off screen, and then we cut to a scene where they're playing on the beach. Some of the same friends, but maybe some different ones. Did you see the pipe t-shirt? I'm just making very random notes. Sorry about this. I'm not really making a whole bunch. Uh-oh, someone mentioned me in a comment on screenplay writing. Let's just see if... Let's just take a pause. Well, Karen left me another note, and apparently, I mean, it says I'm live streaming. Uh-oh. Oh, they're not receiving a video. Oh, that's no fun. Well, I'm recording it. Oh, gosh, I didn't hit record. Oh, I don't think I'm recording this. Oh, great. Shoot. Well, that's unfortunate. This could be a total disaster. Sorry about that. Yeah, our internet is pretty not great. All right, I'm just going to continue reading, and hopefully it will at least save on YouTube. I was going to also save a video file of it, but sorry. Might be the best, but nothing without money. But without money, you are nothing. You know, I don't need money. All I need is I want a place and time to rides running in Moscow. I told you. So they went. So this is the same day. They went to the soccer field, and then they came to here, and then they. So this is all the same day. She's coming here. Yeah, she said she's really mad. This time she means it. This feels like it's too long also. It feels like these lines of dialogue, these exchanges just feel like they take too long. All right, I'm going to make an executive decision since I'm making so many little nitpicking comments and finding things like this should have a comma here, and I'm not sure why this isn't up on that line. So I'm going to make an executive decision and pause the reading of this. Let me see if the live stream is still not streaming well. Well, they'll experience buffering. Yeah, I'm experiencing buffering just watching it. Oh, phooey. All right, I think instead of continuing on, because I've got a bad stream going here and I didn't record it all, I'm just going to end for tonight. If anyone's watching this, thank you for watching. If you're watching it later, thanks for watching. Sorry, it was sort of a rough go of it in terms of the technology side. Oh my gosh. I'm just watching the stream and it's like way behind. Oh, that's embarrassing. So maybe the actual what gets played back on YouTube will be decent. I don't know. So there we go. That ends my read of Ricardo's Game of Life. Wish you the best with it. Hopefully, I don't know that these comments helped. I didn't really speak much to the story. It just does feel like it's taking too long to get going after 10 pages. Maybe a lot more could be happening by shortening the scenes, a little less dialogue, a little quicker exchanges. You could, I think, again, only one person's opinion, cut down the length of your description, put it in an active voice, and just get the story going. Watch the inconsistencies, and keep on writing, because it's what we do. All right, until next time, write on.